It is an understatement when people say that Jimmy Page is a musical genius. He had influenced the music industry greatly and has inspired many other musicians after him. Starting from a young age to his time with Led Zeppelin, and still today, he's one of the greatest guitar players in the world. Jimmy Page began playing the guitar around the age of 13. He was a huge fan and greatly influenced by bluesmen like B.B. King and Buddy Guy. When he began playing the guitar, he mostly learned through teaching himself, not receiving many lessons. Page eventually was good enough to start getting hired as a session musician, and this gave him the chance to play with artists such as the Kinks, The Who, and even the Rolling Stones. His first band was the Yardbirds, replacing Eric Clapton when he quit. When the Yardbirds soon fizzled out, Page sought out new members such as John Paul Jones, John Bonzo Bonham, and Robert Plant. With this new band, Jimmy Page and the others decided to rename themselves and were from then on known as Led Zeppelin. One review from John Mendelsohn in the Rolling Stones magazine said, "Jimmy Page, around whom the Zeppelin revolves, is admittedly an extraordinarily proficient blues guitarist and explorer of his instrument's electronic capabilities." Zeppelin was known as one of the most successful live bands of the 70s. Jimmy Page is thought of as one of the most influential, important, and versatile guitarists in rock history. Just about every rock guitarist from the late 60s to the early 70s, even to present day, has been hugely influenced by Page's work with Led Zeppelin. His monolithic riffs served as a blueprint for what we now know as heavy metal, but he never wanted to be stuck with just one genre. He touched upon genres like folk, country, blues, funk, and many others. Jimmy Page influenced musicians such as Brian May from Queen, Eddie Van Halen, Ace Frehley from Kiss, John Frusciante from Red Hot Chili Peppers, James Hetfield from Metallica, Joe Perry from Aerosmith, Angus Young from AC/DC, Stone Gossard from Pearl Jam, Alex Lifeson from Rush, and many, many more. Page is still active in the music industry today, but he also immersed himself in other projects. Page was actually made an Officer of the Order of the British Empire by Queen Elizabeth II for helping to found Action for Brazil's Children Trust. Led Zeppelin also reunited for a benefit show for Amor Edergin Education Fund. Critics raved about the show, with the Rolling Stones magazine saying, "Page was a continual shock on guitar, mostly because he's played so little in public for the past decade. At 63, Page is undiminished, and his sorcerer's mix of retchless ferocity, stammering runs, strangled howls, granite block chords, and guitar army wow." Jimmy Page was also inducted into the Hall of Fame twice, once in 1992 for the Yardbirds and a second time in 1995 with Led Zeppelin. He was also named the third greatest guitarist, right after Eric Clapton and Jimi Hendrix, by the Rolling Stones magazine. Jimmy Page helped pave the way for future rock and roll. He influenced so many great musicians and went over and beyond his musical career. He's an amazing guitarist whose legend will live on and continue to influence music with years to come.